Have you ever felt a quiet, unshakable sense that something is fundamentally wrong with the world? Not a fleeting sadness, but a deep, philosophical ache. This is the entry point into what some call the darkest philosophical essay ever written, a line of thought championed by the great pessimist Arthur Schopenhauer. He argued that life is not a journey of joy with moments of pain, but a journey of pain with brief, illusory moments of relief. He proposed that the universe is driven by a blind, irrational, ceaseless striving he called the will, a relentless hunger that can never be satisfied. According to Schopenhauer, you are not in control. You are a puppet of this will, driven by desires that are not your own, chasing things that will never bring you lasting peace. Your successes are merely the temporary relief from one craving before the next one is born. Your happiness is just the fleeting shadow cast by a temporarily silenced pain. He believed that to be born is to be sentenced to a life of striving, suffering, and inevitable decay. This is the psychological verdict of pessimism. You are a prisoner in a game you never chose to play, a game with no winners, only degrees of loss. This is a bleak diagnosis, but what if Schopenhauer only told the first half of the story? What if this dark truth is not the end of the essay, but the beginning of a profound transformation? The first step is to accept the diagnosis. Stop pretending that life is supposed to be easy or fair. Stop running from the reality of suffering. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." By constantly chasing fleeting pleasures to avoid pain, we live nowhere. The first act of rebellion is to stand still and face the darkness. This is what Carl Jung called confronting the shadow. Jung believed that the parts of reality we deny, the pain, the aggression, the suffering, do not disappear. They are exiled into our unconscious, where they gain power and control us from the shadows. Schopenhauer saw the monster of the will, but he saw it as an external enemy. Jung provides the second act. This monster is not just outside you, it is inside you. It is the sum of your own rejected parts, and you cannot defeat it by running. You can only neutralize it through integration. This is the great alchemical secret. Alchemy was never about turning literal lead into gold. It was a psychological metaphor for turning the lead of your suffering into the gold of consciousness and meaning. The process begins with radical honesty. You must look at your own pain, your own envy, your own despair, not as enemies to be vanquished, but as raw materials to be transformed. This leads to the third and most powerful act, the response. If Schopenhauer gives the diagnosis and Jung reveals the inner mechanism, it is the philosophy of existentialism, championed by thinkers like Viktor Frankl, that provides the cure. Frankl, a survivor of the Holocaust, wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." This is the ultimate rebuttal to Schopenhauer's pessimism. Yes, the will may be blind. Yes, suffering may be inevitable, but your response to that suffering is entirely within your control. You cannot choose the hand you are dealt, but you can always choose how you play it. This is where you cease to be a puppet and become the alchemist. You take the lead of your pain, and you begin the work of forging it into gold. This is not a one-time decision. It is a daily practice. It is the choice to find meaning in your struggle, to build character from your challenges, and to create your own purpose in a universe that offers none. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What does this demand of me? Who must I become to face this?" Let's be clear. This is not toxic positivity. This is not pretending pain doesn't exist. It is the opposite. It is looking directly into the abyss of Schopenhauer's argument and refusing to blink. It is acknowledging the full weight of life's suffering and then choosing to create meaning anyway. This is the essence of Nietzsche's amor fati, the love of one's fate. to not just bear what is necessary, but to love it, to see every obstacle, every heartbreak, every failure not as a punishment, but as a necessary ingredient in the forging of your own soul. You realize that a smooth sea never made a skillful sailor. The resistance, the friction, the suffering, this is the very force that carves you into who you are meant to be. You stop seeking a life without problems and start seeking the strength to master the problems you have. You are a blacksmith. Your soul is the metal and suffering is the hammer. With each strike, you are not being broken. You are being shaped. This transforms your entire perception of life. A difficult conversation is no longer a threat. It is a chance to practice courage. A financial loss is no longer a disaster. It is a lesson in resilience. A betrayal is no longer just a wound. It is an education in discernment. You begin to see that life is not happening to you. It is happening for you. It is a grand, often brutal training ground designed to awaken your true potential. You stop being a victim of your biography and become the author of your story. This is the shift from a deterministic mindset to an existential one. You are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by what you choose to do with it. This is the ultimate power. The power to create meaning from chaos. The power to build a cathedral from the rubble of your life. The power to look at the darkest philosophical essay ever written, not in agreement with its premise, and then write your own triumphant final chapter. The truth is, the universe is indifferent. The will is blind. Suffering is real. Schopenhauer was right, but he was incomplete. He saw the prison but missed the key. The key is meaning. The key is your response. You are the alchemist. Your life, with all its pain and struggle, is your laboratory, and your purpose is to perform the great work, to take the raw, painful, leaden material of your existence and transform it into the gold of a meaningful life. This is not just a philosophy, it is a psychological necessity. As Jung warned, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. Without this act of conscious creation, we are no more than puppets, dancing on the strings of a blind will. But with it, we become co-creators of our own reality. We become the answer to the universe's indifference. We become the meaning we were searching for. So, do not fear the darkness. Do not run from the struggle. It is the raw material of your greatness. The alchemical path is not about eliminating the darkness, but about integrating it until it becomes the fuel for your own light. You are not defined by your suffering. You are defined by what you choose to build from it. The final, unspoken truth is this: the darkest essay is not a conclusion. It is an invitation to stop being a victim of life and to become its hero, an invitation to stop being the lead that is crushed by pressure and to become the diamond that is created by it. This is the path of the spiritual warrior, the philosopher king, the modern alchemist. It is the understanding that the obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle, the way, every challenge is a hidden teacher. Every pain is a disguised opportunity for growth. You stop praying for an easier life and start praying to be a stronger person. This shift in prayer changes everything. It moves you from a position of weakness to a position of power. You are no longer asking the universe for favors. You are asking yourself to rise to the occasion. And in that asking, you find the strength that was always there, waiting to be called upon. The truth is, most people will do anything to avoid their own suffering. They will distract, numb, blame, and deny. The alchemist does the opposite. They turn towards their suffering with curiosity and courage. They ask, "What are you here to teach me? What part of me is asking to be healed? What strength is waiting to be forged?" This is the difference between a life of reaction and a life of creation. The reactor is a slave to their circumstances. The creator uses their circumstances as the raw material for their art. Your life is your greatest work of art. Every day, you are sculpting it with your choices, your thoughts, and your responses. Are you sculpting a monument to your suffering or a testament to your strength? The choice is yours, and it is made in every moment. Do not be fooled by the simplicity of this truth. It is the most difficult work a human can undertake. It requires you to take absolute responsibility for your inner world, regardless of what the outer world does. It requires you to be the source of your own light in a world that is often dark. It requires you to become the hero of your own story, even when you feel like the villain. But the reward for this work is not just happiness or success, it is something far greater. It is a state of being that the Stoics called eudaimonia, a deep, unshakable well-being that comes from living a life of virtue and meaning. It is a peace that cannot be disturbed by external events because it is not derived from them. It is a strength that does not need to be proven because it has been forged in the fires of your own personal hell. This is the ultimate goal of all deep philosophy and psychology. Not to find a life free of pain, but to become a person who is no longer afraid of it, to become a person who can walk through the darkest valleys and not lose their way, because they have learned to navigate by the light within. This light is your consciousness. It is your awareness. It is your ability to choose. Schopenhauer showed us the darkness. Jung showed us the path through it. Frankl showed us the attitude required to walk it. Now, the only remaining question is, will you walk it? Will you accept the invitation? Will you begin the great work? Will you choose to be the alchemist of your own life? The alchemical path is not about eliminating the lead of suffering. It is about transforming it. The lead does not disappear. It becomes the very substance of the gold. Your past pain, your present struggles, they are not obstacles to your becoming. They are the ingredients. Do not curse the lead. It is the price of the gold. If you want to continue exploring these mind games, show your support by liking and sharing this video. And to ensure you never miss the next chapter, subscribe to Stickman Mind Games